My name is Yong Zhao. I'm a presidential chair and a professor in the College of Education at the University of Oregon. I recently wrote a book called Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Dragon? Why China has the best and worst education system in the world, and which really deals with the big issue about what defines good education. In many ways, China has the best education system measured by its students' international performance, such as on the PISA scores. But at the same time, China has suffered from the lack of creative and innovative talents. So in that regard, the system is the worst because it has failed to produce those talents and China needed. And right now, because of the international test scores, China has become the target of admiration and infatuation by many Western educators and policymakers, and they believe China has a lot to offer to Western education. And recently, the BBC brought 5 Chinese teachers to pilot to teach in England and produced a 3-part documentary called Are Kids Tough Enough to Deal with Chinese Schooling? And that's just one indication that how China has become a target of admiration and people want to learn from it. So in this book, I try to explain why China is the best, has been the best in terms of homogenizing individual students so they can become very competent in taking tests, in complying with the rules and standards. And that has shown very well, not only in China, actually, countries espouse the same philosophy. Singapore, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan have similar results. They all rise to the top. The system, in essence, has very clear prescription of what students should know, has very high stakes testing, so students will comply, and has very, very elaborate apparatus from parents, teachers, school principals to make sure children do learn the same things and progress at the same time, and everybody compete for the same model. And in that sense, the system is very effective in homogenizing. But education is much more than homogenizing. When you lose diversity, that is, when you are successfully homogenize individual talents, you lose possible innovators and creative talents. When you try to instill knowledge in children, they lose the spirit of curiosity and creativity. When you teach children to comply, they lose the mindset for entrepreneurial activities. So any system, if you want to have one goal, that is homogenizing, instilling in children the same knowledge, the same skills, expect every children to achieve the same thing, and that is good for the old industrial society because we want homogeneous skills at mediocre level. But if you want a diversity of unique talents who are creative, entrepreneurial, you probably do not want that system. That's why I wrote the book, to warn American policymakers and educators to say, China is the best example of a paradigm that's obsolete. That is about preparing people one size fits all. But for the future, America and other countries needs to reinvent a system that celebrates diversity of talents, that supports the development of creativity, that encourages risk-taking and the entrepreneurial mindset. Again, the book is called Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Dragon? Why China has the best and worst education system in the world.